Okay, guys, it is time for a new update here on the Bitcoin price, and I can already tell you, yes, we are still remaining in the short position from last video. It is now in a total profit of roughly $20,000. As you guys know, everything I predicted in my last video 4 days ago actually came to reality 100%. First of all, we got the rejection of our 11-year resistance once again here for Bitcoin. This is also the reason why we opened the short position. As you guys remember, I told you in my last two videos over and over again that everything near the 11-year resistance for Bitcoin is a short opportunity, and we also all took this short opportunity. So congratulations to you. By the way, guys, now let's not talk too much about the past. Let's also try to find out what the price of Bitcoin will do for the next upcoming days, and especially for our weekly candle close, because this will have a very big impact on what we need to expect Bitcoin to do within the next week in general. And for this, guys, we also want to take a look at Ethereum once again. If you maybe remember, I told you for Ethereum, if you want to have a quick scalp trade, to keep an eye on this symmetrical triangle that was forming on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. I told you when we break this to the upside, this might be a beautiful long opportunity here for Ethereum in the short term, so just for a scalp trade. And once Ethereum broke out here to the upside on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, you can also already see that here on the 25th, Ethereum skyrocketed to the upside, actually by multiple, this is the wrong tool, by multiple percent. I think Ethereum went up over 5% after that quick long scalp trade call. Yeah, it went up 10% in its peak, but even if you actually didn't really close it all too well, this trade, you at least made 5% with a 10 or 20x leverage. We are talking 50 to 100% margin profit on that trade. So congratulations for everyone that watched my last video and also kept an eye, as I told them to do, on Ethereum, because we need to do this once again, guys, and I will tell you exactly why. Our weekly candle is closing soon. The S&P 500, our traditional markets, pretty much just went sideways, even had a small pump, but Bitcoin still corrected to the downside. So we are seeing a little bit of a decoupling here in the wrong direction, that Bitcoin is actually going to the downside and the traditional market is pumping. This is something we haven't seen in quite some time. And what now is the most important is actually to not close our current weekly candle bearish. Because if we close our current weekly candle bearish and we cannot confirm this current breakout to the upside, I can already tell you that we might see another correction all the way down here to our bull market support, which, by the way, if broken to the downside, heavily would indicate that our current bull market ended at the 11-year resistance. Once again, by the way, this is something we need to keep in mind here. If this breaks to the downside, we have actually ended the bull market most likely here at the $112,000 at the 11-year resistance once again. So we need to keep this in mind for the worst case scenarios. So how can we find out if there's even a chance we will get there? And luckily, right now, the chances are not too good for the bears, actually. Guys, we might need to take some profits off this short position quite easy and expect the price to reverse a little bit higher once again. The only thing that I'm currently keeping an eye on to find out if this is going to be happening is actually Ethereum, but also two price levels on Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, we are keeping it as simple as possible, as you always know. If we are taking a look here, the $102,500 level, guys, this is a price level we cannot break to the downside. If this gets broken to the downside, be sure that there is a high likelihood of actually the low $80,000 to be reached again, actually, which would be the most dangerous correction that we could then currently in this bull market have, because the likelihood of this actually not just being a retracement but then a final blow off top would not be too unlikely. But that's why we don't want to see our weekly candle closing below the $102,500 level. We much rather would like to see it closing above the 104,500. Maybe we can even say $105,000 level. If we can see a weekly candle close above the $105,000 level, I actually expect some more bullish performance for Bitcoin within the next week, at least if we see one breakout on Ethereum as well, that I will show you in a second. If we close here in between these two closes of our last weekly highs, I see this as natural, so only if Ethereum actually breaks to the downside, I would scale up my short position. In the scenario, we are closing above this $105,000 level, the weekly candle, plus the Ethereum breaks out, as I show you in a second, then I would actually even take some profits and prepare to re-enter the short position at higher levels, even closer to the 11-year resistance in the best case. But let's just wait and see. And if we close below, this is for me actually a very clear sign to, no matter what Ethereum actually does, to scale up my Bitcoin short trade. As on Ethereum, I'm only keeping one thing in mind, and that is, are we closing the weekly candle, as I just showed you, below or above or in between this support area? And on top of that, is the general market bullish enough to continue to have Ethereum outperform Bitcoin for a moment during all-time high consolidation phases of Bitcoin, which would be a bullish sign, which was a bullish sign in the past, and would more rather tell us that we need to expect Bitcoin to break out to the upside out of a bigger consolidation, even on the weekly time frame potentially. So this is why I'm keeping an eye on this falling wedge on the Ethereum chart. If it breaks to the upside, as always, guys, and Bitcoin is able to close its weekly candle above the 105, or at least above the 102,500, then I think we can actually take some profits of our short and expect the price to turn bullish once again. If we are actually not breaking here to the upside properly, or maybe even Ethereum starts here falling to the downside, and on top of that, Bitcoin is not able to close above the $105,000 level, but it actually does a bearish close or a neutral close, while Ethereum actually starts correcting against Bitcoin. In such a scenario, I would definitely scale up this short position. This is all you need to keep an eye on for now, guys. It is sometimes super simple, as you guys know. Don't overcomplicate things and your P&Ls will become green. By the way, thank you very much for all the support. If you haven't seen the leverage like a pro tutorial, I got a lot of amazing feedback below that video. So if you haven't seen that in the past, guys, I can highly recommend you to watch this tutorial video. There is another tutorial video being uploaded today here on the channel as well, so make sure you don't miss that out, so you fully understand what I mean by scaling up and so on, that you fully understand the strategies that I'm using, and then you can finally fully also use the information, like the suggestion of a scalp long Ethereum entry yesterday, or my prediction of the market correcting at the 111,000 level, where we 2 times opened a short position already. Beautiful profits there for anyone that would have taken these trades in the meantime. But now, guys, as I said, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads and predictions by myself. And yeah, that's already it. As you guys know, I'm currently moving, so no face cam for maybe today and the next videos. Let's see. But I hope you don't mind. The most important is the information anyways. So let me know if you mind if there's no face cam for 1 or 2 days. But I think it should be okay. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.